Welcome back, young wizards. Today, I'm going to emphasize the power of saying no. I told you once before, the power of saying no, it's one of the most powerful spells you can cast. Potentially the most powerful spell. But it comes in many different forms. Sometimes it means walking away. Sometimes it means bedazzling folks with your mystical display of the force field around you, not letting anyone enter into your zone. This particular image demonstrates that very well. When we used to play Magic, as a kid, we were designing our decks, you'd have some ramp, you'd have some artifact destruction, you'd have some this and that, but you'd have the power to say no. You'd have no power. We literally called it no power. And that's what a counterspell is in Magic. The thing is, when you say no with such a powerful spell, it can have certain effects that you might not have planned for. See, if you never say no, you'll be pushed around, people will step into your zone, you'll be encroached upon and taken advantage of. But if you say no too readily, too often, too recklessly, too haphazardly, you will end up sending off unexpected deflections or eventualities will come that you might not have expected. So for example, I remember at work one time I was in a closet with the manager who took me inside to have a little conversation with me. When he started to raise his voice, I told him I don't want to be yelled at. It was the power of saying no. What did he do at that point? Well, he dismissed me. Said, "You're good, you can go home." He never had somebody say so gently, so simply, so straightforward that I don't approve of this. I don't approve of being yelled at. I don't want to be treated like that. And he didn't know how to handle it, so he asked me to leave, which I did. But shortly thereafter, he realized he didn't really want to fire me because I didn't want to be yelled at. So as I walked out the building, got to my car, he came behind me and he said, "Hey, can you come back in an hour? Just let everything settle down, give it an hour, come back, and clock back in." I said, "Okay." And from then on, we both respected each other more. And, definitely he respected me more. He never yelled at me again. One time, I was working at a job where I never met the owner, but I heard she was cruel or rude, mean. So I was kind of prepared for the day when I was there early. I had clocked in, or I hadn't even clocked in yet. I usually showed up about 15 minutes early. I was there about 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes before the hour had started, because the morning person was still there. I was talking to them and whatever. I was leaning up against the counter. And she walked up to me, and I knew it was the owner because it was an old woman that she looked kind of mean. She looked like my kindergarten principal. Anyway, she came up and squeezed me on the shoulder, and she goes, "You got time to lean, you got time to clean." And, I took offense to that. I didn't want to be treated like that. I didn't have the words at the time to articulate how much I disapproved of her squeezing my shoulder or telling me what to do so rudely without introducing herself or even knowing who I am. I guess it's her business. She can do it how she wants, but I didn't really like that. And I wasn't even clocked in, so in my mind, I wasn't really hers to be to be told what to do. If I'm on the clock, sure, tell me whatever you need me to do, but I don't know, at the time I was really offended, and I wasn't on the clock, so I felt like I didn't have to do anything. And I just felt like it was too rude of a way to first meet somebody, to continue to work for them. And so that was my last night at that job. Again, I didn't have the words at the time to say anything to her. I didn't say anything. I just went and did my job and at the end of the night, I kind of told the other people there, like, yep, I'm not coming back, because I won't work for somebody like that. And, you know, there are consequences to that. You know, I lost my income at that time. It was a part-time job during college, but, you know, there are costs, and there are maybe things you don't expect will happen when you say no. And in Magic, you might have a deck, a blue deck, a Riku deck, one that has really good cards like Venser that allow you to say no. Cards like Cryptic Command that say no. I will not allow you to do that. And when you play with cards like Memory Lapse, beautiful Memory Lapse, you can say no. This card gives you the power to say no what your opponent attempts. But there are unintended consequences of saying no. See, when your deck becomes too powerful, your opponents don't want to play against you. When they can't do what they want to do on their deck because you keep saying no, it's not fun. So, you can do what you like, but if you ask me, I try to limit my counter spells now because you want the game to be fun for your opponents. And if it's not fun for your opponents, it's not going to be fun for you for very long. I usually run 2 or 3 counter spells. This one's just way too good, and it's beautiful. But yeah, when you can copy something like that, or something like Cryptic Command, you can copy it with Riku. Well, it's a game changer. Like I said, saying no can change the game. It can have a big effect. It can have unintended consequences. So just keep in mind, when you say no, there might be consequences. There are consequences either way, because if you don't say no, you're encroached upon. But if you do say no, there are different consequences. So tread lightly, be careful, understand that there are going to be costs, regardless of what you do. Do what you enjoy. Don't do what I tell you to do. Just find something that you enjoy. And I enjoy Magic. I enjoy playing cards. I enjoy Riku. I enjoy the Commander format. And I enjoy practicing saying no.